Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. This is Lockdown Series Volume 2, Episode 5. Arsenal legend or cult hero? Maybe even zero for some. I think Lee Boy's got it right. It's going to be a great show tonight, seeing fans' different views on different players, past and present. Welcome back to the show, Super Kev, Super Kevin Campbell.
Bow!
I might add you into the mix to see if Arsenal fans think you're a hero or a legend or a cult hero, Super Kev.
Yeah, you can do. No problem. You could do that first if you want.
All right, I'll start.
Just don't ask that lady down the bottom.
No, I won't. And welcome back to the show, PG. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going?
Hi, PG.
Well, Kev's just told me I look shattered, and I am shattered, but I'm here.
Oh, you didn't like that?
Full of compliments.
Well, you do look a bit like peaky, but you've been working long hours, so that's okay. Yep. We don't hide anything on this show. I mean, there was one time when someone asked me if I was a heroin addict because of the black bags under my eyes. So, you know, it's all good. All right, this show today, by the way, thank you to everybody who tuned in and listened to our player profile yesterday, Pablo Mari. 5,000 plus and counting. We are so psyched that you guys are enjoying the player profile series. And we're going to have another one for you next week. Remember, you guys get to vote. So you can always let us know at the Highbury Squad at gmail.com or at Highbury Squad on Twitter. Right. Let's get stuck into this. Everyone already, I can't even keep up with everyone in chat already. They're already getting me my list. Listen, everyone, this is how we're going to do this.
We're going to do it.
Let me tell you something, okay? Newman is already wanting to go at Super Kev. Casey dropping himself in it already. I love how they give you a lot of crap. PG, is that a Casey shirt behind you?
Just responding to him. No, it's not his shirt, but he has signed it.
Hashtag shame. Should be.
It's weird, isn't it? That the only shirt I've got is that 93, and you signed this, Kev.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So weird.
But he signed it in 93.
Yeah, the whole team have.
Yeah.
It was for my hen night, because obviously most girls get a normal present for the hen night, but not me. I got an Arsenal top signed. My friends knew me well.
Okay, remember, this show's about the legends and the heroes, even though you are one. We'll get to you in a minute, okay? So let's
Legend of the
Eastupper. Abusers of the
I'm a legend. I'm not a legend, I'm a legend.
Of the Eastupper.
All right, you guys, let me tell you something about what happened when I was gathering images for this show. We are spoiled. We are spoiled. And let me tell you something. If I hear anyone moan about a lot of stuff in a particular stuff, I'm not quite sure what stuff, but all I know is that we are so spoiled because when I was putting this together, I was like, I'm not going to sit here all day and download 200 pictures. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. I don't have time. Got to earn some crust and pay the mortgage. But I just wanted to say, KC and PG, before I get stuck into this, start with you, Super Kev, having played for the team. We are spoiled.
I know.
I mean it.
I know. Listen, Arsenal fans, for some of the younger fans, they don't realize how many quality top players have played for this club. I'm telling you. And we're going to go through it. They're going to get reminded tonight. And you know what? Some of them might not even know the names. But you know what? Go on YouTube and check them. Go on YouTube and check because they might not be. Listen, I don't want to say too much because I can't wait to get stuck in.
All right. PG, I mean, seriously, when I was doing it, I was like, oh, gosh, I'm just going to couple this era together. And then I go, I'm just going to couple this era together. But then there's certain players that we have to pull out because they really are going to be the crux between whether certain fans think they're legends or cult heroes. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you think as well. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, here we go. Got to go all the way. Everyone who's in chat, welcome. Listen, there might be some of you in the chat that might not know some of these plays I'm putting in at the beginning. And there's a reason for that, is because I could have gone way before that too. Could have gone to the Cliff Bastin era, but I chose to just start.
Legend and icon.
Okay. All right. So we know that.
Cult hero, yes.
And
he's off, isn't he?
Yes. So
I've been excited for this one.
I know. I decided to start at 70-71. All right.
Oh.
Otherwise, it's a 3-hour show, people. Let me tell you.
It's going to take time.
So let's start with this legend. Sorry, no, wrong photo.
Oi! you could start with that one. If you want.
We're going to the 70s.
No,
all right.
You showed it now. You can't hide it.
Okay, let's just get this one out the way right off the bat, shall we, everybody? Is Super Kevin Campbell an Arsenal legend or a cult hero? Let us hear it in chat. And maybe PG
I'm going to watch.
Answer this question. No,
I want PG to answer.
You have
it.
to
I
answer
want her
it,
to
PG.
answer. Yeah.
Is he a legend or a cult hero? Go on.
What am I, PG? I listen and keep to what Sophie said. Nothing else.
There's quite a few things you are that I.
Yeah, exactly.
Hasn't said.
Let's keep it to football.
I don't think you're a cult hero. It wasn't one of those things that it was obsessed with, but you're definitely an Arsenal legend, that's for sure.
That is the correct answer tonight.
Yes, I'll take
that.
well,
you're not a cult hero. Cult, there's not going to be many.
There ain't many, no.
Right.
And there's not many legends, which will surprise everyone. But
well, I think there are actually. I think there's a lot of legends.
Yeah, but you know what? We need to clarify this, because a legend to you might not be a legend to me or to Sophie. It's opinion.
I'll clarify it. Don't you worry about that.
No, you can't clarify if I don't think someone's a legend or not.
I will clarify. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you can have your opinion.
No, but I will clarify why I think they're a legend.
Yes, exactly. Of course. Yeah.
Exactly.
I can't. I wouldn't try and turn your opinion. No.
Okay. Let's continue with the show. All right. So
sorry about the detour.
No, that's all good. It's all good right here. So let's get stuck in. Everybody has come in, weighed in. Only a couple people think you're a cult hero, KC. Most people think you're a legend, and they would be right. Right. Here we go. This fella right here, Mr. Frank McLintock. In my opinion, I'll just kick this off right away. I mean, that 71 team, forget about it. PG, I'll start with you. Mr. Frank McLintock, legend or cult hero?
Legend. Nothing else to say. There's no way.
You have to give at least a little caveat as to why. Even if it's a 60-second soundbite.
We'll be here all night. We need a 4-hour show.
Or 20-second or 20-second.
No, he just is. He epitomises Arsenal. He reminds me of our Mr. Arsenal, Tony Adams. He is the Tony Adams of his era. And for people that don't know, Frank McLintock was pivotal to that 71 side. There we go.
Yep.
And everyone in chat, remember, as we're going, you also have to comment if you think he was a legend or a cult hero. There's no doubt right now, unanimously, as you guys are seeing everything come up, it's legend. KC, there is only one answer to this question, isn't there?
Yeah, Frank McLintock is definitely an Arsenal legend of the highest order, let me tell you. A fantastic Arsenal captain in that 70-71 side, led by example, really good player. Obviously, we had the Scottish, tough, and he led that side, lifted both trophies, and, was pivotal in beating Spurs at White Hart Lane as well.
Yes.
And get that one in. And obviously lifting the FA Cup for the double. Brilliant. Absolutely.
Yes.
And what a lovely man as well.
And
but don't you think he is?
What Mark's saying as well. Sorry, Lowski is a class act as well, definitely.
Don't you think he is the original Mr. Arsenal, though?
I don't know about original, but he's definitely one of them, PG.
One of them.
Definitely
the captain. I'm talking about Tony, obviously.
No, I know, but obviously there's people who preceded him who I don't know.
No, do I.
I mean. So
I can't go back into the 60s.
What I'm saying is I wouldn't want to be disrespectful to the people who I don't know.
Yeah.
who trod that path.
My dad might know that. He
Exactly,
would know that, yeah.
exactly. But Frank McLintock obviously was legendary then, wasn't he? 70, 71, he was legendary captain. So, yeah.
And right there he is with the championship and the FA Cup. What a team that was. And this year we'll be celebrating 50 years of the Arsenal team from that era. We're going to be doing some great stuff. Keep tuned for that one. Frank McLintock, definitely a legend. Now, here's something, you guys, I have for you, because this is really interesting. Mike Hertz, who's a really good friend of the show, younger generation than us, and this is why we're doing this in a sense. I'm aged out of this one. So he doesn't really know about Frank McLintock. He doesn't know about that team as much, KC.
If you know your history, he should know his history, Mike. Come on now. Come on.
To be fair,
No, there's no be fair.
Kev, we don't know our history from the 50s and 60s.
Now, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute here.
Hold on a minute here.
What we're saying is, these are the guys who laid the foundation. These are the teams who laid the foundation. You could check on them on YouTube. You could check on these guys on YouTube. You
could, but I think that when we do our 5 days of 1970-71, that everyone's going to learn so much more. But Newman's right, Kev. We are that era. Apparently, I was 3, and apparently I cited the team. The whole lot, the whole first 11. I think my dad, that's an urban myth.
You should get to know them.
But I don't know the 50s or the 60s. So anyway.
No, but you know what? If there's footage of all that you could get, you can watch it. You can learn.
You do your homework, PG. You go home right now and you do your homework.
So what I'm saying is, PG, of that icon that they played iconic games in that 1970s side. So if he's a bit aged out, what I'm saying is he can go and check. He's not saying he's going to know it now, but he can go and check it.
Of course he can. And
Right.
the double team's important. It's 15 minutes. We've done one player.
Bless Mike.
No, that team. Come on, get the team picture up here.
I'm going to get it. Mike, you're happy you made that comment. And Anuj Mega, I'm going to try this. Super Kev, can you shout out my name, please, so I can show it to all my friends? Anuj, right here, Casey.
Anuj Mega, how are you? Up the Gunners.
Yay!
Oh. Right, there you go.
All right, moving on swiftly. So this is how I was trying to categorize everyone, because then we get into this special fella. Absolute legend, right? So KC, maybe you should tell everyone about the great George, aka known as Geordie Armstrong.
Geordie Armstrong. Yeah, listen, when I first went to Arsenal, Geordie wasn't there. Obviously, I'd seen him play for the team, but Geordie was away from the club. But a few years later, Geordie came onto the staff, and my goodness, what an absolute diamond of a guy. Not only was he a good player, not only would he talk up Arsenal and tell you everything about Arsenal, what it means to play for the football club. You know, he was so hell-bent on trying to get young players to come through the ranks like him, Pat Rice, and everyone did, to play in that first team and know what it meant to the fans. He was incredible. Honestly, he was an incredible fella. And it's such a pity that he's no longer with us, I tell you, because he would still be at the games. He would still be going to the games now, and he would still be turning up and still be giving youngsters advice. What an absolute tremendous man he was, honestly.
You made my hairs go up. Like, I actually have chills just thinking about all of that and thinking about it, because the same way with Sir Bobby Charlton when he was at Manchester United every weekend, all the time. Same thing with this legend as well. And you guys have heard us mention his daughter Jill Armstrong a lot. If you don't follow her, you should, because the amount of historical pictures that she shares, and Mike Hertz, that's someone for you to follow, because the history that you can learn just from the era her dad played. You can go and check how many appearances her dad made for the Arsenal. Incredible achievement. So yes, an absolute hero. So we're going to try and bust through.
Hold on, I haven't said what I think.
Go on then. Sorry,
he's a legend.
At the beginning,
and he's a legend, and he's an absolute legend, and he's my dad's favourite player of that era. He always talks about Geordie Armstrong. Always. He's taught me quite a lot about him. So when I met Jill on Twitter, it was lovely because I already knew about him. So yeah, definite legend he is.
He is, absolutely. And you're right.
Sophie.
It might be Sophie time, way beyond time tonight.
Sophie,
yes,
do you know what? I think we're going to need probably a
Two
replay
shows.
on this one. Yeah.
Why don't we do 2 show, part 1,
Yeah,
part
2
2?
or 3. I think we're going to need 3 or 4.
We've done 2 players.
Go to the 80s. This is what I told you. This is why I started the show.
No, but it's great. But it's great. If we could do 3 or 4 shows. Because
Yeah.
we could take certain players from certain teams and then do some others from certain teams. So let's do that.
This is what I'm saying. Okay, so we'll move to this guy right here because he has a huge part to play in 71. And then he also had a huge part to play. And because we're doing 71, of course, we have to put him in that bracket. Amanda, why don't you take this one away? George Graham, the Arsenal legend, in my opinion.
as a player, I don't think he was a legend, weirdly. As a manager, an absolute legend. So not for me, not a legend, no. But not a cult hero either. Just a really good player. That's what I think.
This is okay. So
he's a
I think because
a legend as a manager, but not as a player.
I think because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a legend for Man United because of the goal he scored at Bayern Munich. Georgie Graham is a legend because he was part of that 71 double winning team. And then he goes on to manage the team in 89. So to me, he's an absolute 100% double legend.
Double legend.
But if he didn't do the game in 89, would he be legend as a footballer?
If he'd have still got us to that moment and he'd won the league when he did after, then yeah, for me, he's still, if he's a manager of Arsenal and he's won the league, to me, he's a legend.
I mean, if he didn't, if he was just a player in 71 and he wasn't our manager.
But it wasn't just 71. I mean, that's a good question.
It would be anyone who
he won the double. He won the double.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
So
then the whole team are legends, aren't they?
Well,
that's what we're getting to in the narrative
here.
We're
getting to, yeah. That's what we're getting to. It's hard, but it is, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So a lot of people think, I'm just going to go through some more comments because obviously this is also Stroller legend.
Stroller legend.
Stroller.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Tony thinks he's a legend. And yes, we are going to need a bigger boat for this one. There's no doubt about it. How about this fella right here?
Oh my God. Absolute legend. But hold on a minute. He was a bit of a cult hero.
No,
Charlie George.
This is one I wondered. Yeah.
I think he's a cult hero. I thought that straight away when we were discussing the 71. Absolute cult hero. And he still is to this day.
Yeah, very true.
I loved it when I met him. We did our stadium tour a couple of years ago for my dad's birthday. And I've got loads of pictures of me and George. And my dad has, what am I saying, George? Charlie George, sorry. Me and Charlie George. And so is my dad. And watching my dad with him, because it's his era. I was 3. He's definitely a cult hero. I would never see him as a legend, weirdly.
I think this in itself is so cult hero definition.
Yeah, iconic.
And so, iconic. It is, too true. Okay, cool. Then that's that. We agree on Charlie George and everyone in the chat. Not a cult icon from, let's see, I'll change his FA Cup goal made me support Arsenal. Cult hero here. MN thinks he's a legend. Paul Carr thinks he's a cult hero and a top man as well. Trusay thinks both right here. And then Wayne also thinks legend and cult hero. You still find him in the bookies.
Yeah. You know what? I think you can be both. And I think he is.
Yeah.
I think he is both as a local boy as well. So
I can see what you mean because I think the local boy makes the hero part, but then what he did in that team makes it legendary.
Well, is the cult hero status, isn't it?
Yeah.
That goal against Liverpool. Wow.
All right, you guys. So this is you guys are going to be able to vouch for me even more because look, we're 20 minutes in. We've done 4 or 5 plays. When I said at the beginning of the show, oh my gosh, we're so spoiled, I was not lying. And now I'm a truth teller. Okay, that's that. How about this fella?
Oh,
Legend.
I don't even think we need to
Absolute.
discuss it. I don't think anyone would disagree, would they?
No,
I don't think so.
No,
I don't know how you can say he isn't. And look at this, guys, when goalkeepers played with no gloves.
Yeah, look at that.
Brilliant.
Look at that.
Brilliant.
Don't even remember those days.
But do you know what, ladies? I don't know if you've met him. I'm sure you have, PG, at some stage.
Yeah.
But he is the nicest man you can meet, man. I'm telling you, he is a brilliant man. You know, and he's an Arsenal man as well. Still goes to the games with his wife.
Yep.
And do you know what? He's still as passionate. You see him get up and he's cussing and all that. It's absolute. His wife is there and she's a softly spoken woman. But when Arsenal, when the tackles are flying, she gets up and she's giving it. It's brilliant, honestly.
Brilliant. Absolutely, I met him outside Piebury Corner. And
you did.
It was amazing. We had a chat. We had a pie. I mean, he was fantastic. Told him I came all the way from the States to spend a few weeks watching the Arsenal, and he was just absolutely top notch. True gentleman. And every time I see a picture like this, you guys, of a goalkeeper wearing no gloves, think about it. Back in the day, whether it was the old Division 1, the World Cup, the Euros, Copa America, these goalkeepers were not wearing gloves. It is astonishing.
I've never seen that picture. I never knew they didn't wear gloves. Isn't that weird?
Just leave it to me to find the gems, PG. Don't worry, I got the hookup right here.
You've done your research.
I got the hookup right here. And, you know, you got people who are inspired by him, you know, and also the Willow Foundation. Absolutely. Let's give a shout out to the Willow Foundation.
Great stuff he does. The great work him and his family do. And you know what? It's changing people's lives. It makes such a massive difference.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So here we go on to the next player. Let's see what everyone thinks about this. One of maybe my favorite, number 7.
You cannot call him anything but a legend, I'm afraid. Chippy Brady.
I think there's a bit of both goes into Chippy.
Maybe he's an all-round
cult hero and legend.
Yeah,
for me.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah, cult hero and legend. What a player. What a player.
He played a brand of football, Casey, that the division didn't really see a lot back then. Let's be honest. His trickery is
unbelievable. He could play now.
Yeah.
He would be incredible now.
To be honest with you, play like Liam Brady and then also a complementary player like a Glenn Hoddle. Those guys were way ahead of their time. Way ahead of the league and the time and the way English football and what was demanded of English football back then. Agree, Casey?
Yeah, 100%. They were having that ability. Well, wow. Liam Brady was my favourite. Second was Frank Stapleton, but Liam Brady was. Not only is he a legend, he is a cult hero as well because of the things he could do, and obviously being part of that side and that goal he scored at White Hart Lane as well. Woo!
That gives him cult status straight away, whether he was or wasn't. But he's a legend. He's more of a 100%. Legend, isn't he, than a cult hero. That's his number 1. But number 2, he is a cult hero as well. But his football was just, as I tell in the chat room, my dad was distraught when he left. Absolutely distraught. I'll never forget that. He couldn't talk. He was so upset.
Do you know, I like this. Look at this, Casey. Sophie and Casey are legends, and then we're getting another one as well from Ty.
Oh, hello. What am I, like smoked salmon here or something?
I mean, you are today, apparently.
Yeah, not a legend.
Brady also, when he left, he crushed so many souls. I don't blame your dad being upset, PG. I mean, it was one of those players that left, and everyone's notes in chat here are making me kind of reminisce and think about that a lot as well, in terms of how it makes fans feel. Right. How about this
Sophie,
fella?
Sophie, before we just, great that we get on that fella, but when Liam Brady left, Arsenal weren't the same. That's how you know. Arsenal were never the same team when he left. Never. Because
players like him, they're just way too special. I have an echo in my ear. Chat, just let me know. You're not getting any reverb today, are you? You don't hear an echo on your end, anyone?
I can't hear anything. Sounds good.
Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. You know what, Casey? That's what's the mark of special players.
Yeah,
They go and they're not easily replaced, and he's definitely a player that lives up to that. All right, let's start with this image right here. Come on, kids. This is Mr. Pat Rice getting his MBE from the Queen of England. And right here, this is Mr. Pat Rice holding the gold Invincible trophy with Wenger and another legend that we've already mentioned, Bob Wilson. And then if there's two players that for me epitomize, I don't know why it is, the away kit, the yellow and blue, Liam Brady's one.
and Pat Rice.
Him and David Rocastle is the other one, and we'll get to him in a little bit here. But it's Pat Rice. Those thighs, I don't know who had bigger below to bottom, below half. Was it Kenny Sansom or Pat Rice, Casey?
Look, I'm not sure. I think maybe Kenny had a little bit bigger thighs, but he was a bit shorter. But just look, when I look at pictures of Pat Rice, that man is nothing more than double, triple, quadruple legend in my eyes. The amount of work that man done as a footballer and as a coach and as the assistant manager, over the years, honestly, people just need to check and see who he was involved with from the early 80s. It's incredible.
But you know what's interesting, Kev? As we go through the eras, there's going to be less and less legends. This is the main era for it. Absolutely, the 70s.
Well, listen, very true. I think the 70s, 80s, obviously late 80s, then you're going to start getting into a bit, and then we're going to start whittling down as we go forward.
There'll be more cult heroes than legends.
Yeah.
Well, let me get stuck into this. Let me get stuck into this one, because for me, this guy's a cult hero, and he defines it, especially with the goal that he scored. Do you guys agree with me? Alan Sunderland.
Oh, he's a cult hero. 100%.
Yes, definite cult
hero. Not a legend.
Definite,
cult hero.
Definite cult hero. Definite cult hero. Definite cult hero.
I watched that. I remember that.
That kit is that game epitomizes that kit. It's unbelievable.
But if any game, when I tweet, this is so Arsenal, that game is so Arsenal.
Yeah.
We have it running through our DNA that nothing can be done easy. And we're either going to flop, like you discussed at Wrexham, or we're going to beat United, or we're going to beat Liverpool at Anfield that night. It's just so Arsenal. It really
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. He should be for the hair alone. He lives in Malta these days, really. Did not know that about Mr. Sunderland. How about this guy? Kenny Sansom, everyone.
I think Kenny's a legend.
No, I don't.
I think Kenny's a legend. I do. I think it's obviously sometimes it's difficult because Kenny wasn't part of a league winning side. But the England left back, he was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant. I think he's an Arsenal legend myself.
Well, he's played enough games to warrant that legendary status, hasn't he, KC?
And captain as well, wasn't he?
He was very important for a long while in the England setup too. He was definitely someone that was chosen a lot too. So
saying he was the best left back in the world.
Yeah.
There was a good stretch. There was a good stretch where he was the best left back in the world. Yeah. For me, he's a legend. But for you,
me,
PG,
he's a cult hero.
Enough.
Yeah, he's not a legend for me. You're tripping.
I do think that he falls into the legend category because of his time, and then also just how many times he played, and also the fact that he was, unlike, say, for example, Winterburn, Dixon, Adams, they should have played a lot more for England. That whole defense should have been the England defense, right? Super Kev. Whereas Kenny Sansom, during his time, he was able to hold down that place regularly at international level for sure. So, Loki got his first autograph off Kenny as well. All right, how about this?
And by the way, we hope Kenny's better.
Yes,
he was ill, wasn't he? So we hope he's okay.
Always sending him tons of love and stuff like that. Okay, here we go, you guys.
I used to clean his boots. He's a good guy.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Oh,
In the
nice.
days
Brilliant.
when players
Lovely.
had to
Was he a
do
good
that.
tipper? Was he a good
Lovely
tipper?
fella. Lovely fella. Lovely. Oh, beautiful at Christmas. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Oh,
No,
man.
that's nice.
These are the
Yeah, it was
stories
good.
that I love. Oh, man. You made sure you polished those up real good, huh, Casey?
And listen, I always done my duties, darling. Always.
Love it. Okay, now Mike Hertz for you and the younger kids in town. This guy's name is Graham Ricks. Now I threw him in there because he's one of those players that is synonymous with two teams, but also, you know, he's beloved in different ways from both sets of fans. For me, he's not. I don't think he's either. Super Kev?
I like Rixie. I think he's a top player, but I can't go to legend status. I can't go to legend status for Rixie because the guy in that team was Liam Brady, the lefty.
He's not
He
anything.
was a good player. He was a good player, but legend is hard for me to say.
Yeah.
Or that cult hero.
You're with me, right? I don't think neither.
Even cult hero. I wouldn't even say cult hero.
I agree. Not any of that.
See, I like to throw in a few red herrings here and
That's
there.
good.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
This one's a good one. Look at that shirt.
He's a cult hero, isn't he, for slapping Cockerell around the face?
Oh.
Look at him right there. Just he's
for
already
me,
ahead of Gaza.
You don't even need to ask me. You don't even need to ask me. He's a legend, man. Paul Davis is an Arsenal legend.
I do love this shirt. PG, look at that shirt. That's amazing.
I wanted that in yellow and blue. I still haven't got it. I wanted that in yellow and blue.
Baby Paul.
Baby Paul.
I wish Adidas would do that shirt next season.
Yeah.
Just that. It'd be amazing, wouldn't it, guys? Paul Davis, everyone in chat. What are your thoughts? I'm pretty sure. PG, is he a legend for you?
God, everyone's saying he is.
Well, you don't have to.
Pressure.
If you don't think.
No, I don't actually. I think he's a cult hero, as I said, for that reason of what he did to Cockerell and the fact that he was a great player for us, but he's not a legend in my eyes now.
This is a tough one.
I beg to differ because you know what? You know when you play in winning teams, that gets you legendary status. And
he had 450.
But not only that. Do you remember the Cup Winners' Cup final? Paul Davis played and Ian Selly played in the centre.
God, Ian Selly.
Ian Selly, you know, and Paul Davis was unbelievable. He was unbelievable in the final.
It depends what you define as a legend. Paul Davis was a great player. Absolutely.
Yeah, listen, and you know what? Our opinions might differ. But for me, if you are part of a winning team and you're playing and you win, that gets you legendary status. Because that's what it's about. We know it's about winning.
I think he's another player. I agree with Lauki here. He was ahead of his time. Super talented. I mean, someone like him right now, in this Arsenal team, forget about it.
Imagine him and Partey together.
Jeez. This era. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, that moves us on, ladies and gentlemen. The most undeniable. If you do not agree with legendary status on this, I had to put it in because if I didn't, everyone would think I was crazy and that was on crack or something. And I'm actually not on crack at all. Would you believe it?
You don't even need to ask.
How much legendary status have we got? Actually,
top legend.
Actually, I think we need to add something on.
What top legend?
well, we've got we've the status this guy has. He's got a statue, man. You know what I mean? He's not just a legend. He's not just a cult hero, a cult figure. He's a bit more than that, isn't he?
Well, maybe he could be our number one legends over the next 2 or 3 shows that we're going to do, because I cannot see anyone in my head, apart from Frank McLintock, as I said, being Tony Adams as number one.
Yeah, you know, Charlie D, the biggest legend. I mean, this guy is Mr. Arsenal.
Super legend, like Name Block just said. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he is Mr. Arsenal. And when you know that sayings that come out of his mouth are still being heralded, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. This guy, listen, I'm just so privileged for him to be my captain at Arsenal. I'm telling you now, because people talk about, you know, there's no captains these days. Let me tell you, there's captains and there's Tony Adams.
Oh, yes.
Let me tell you, this captain, I played with Stuart Pearce at Nottingham Forest, who was a very, very good captain. But even Stuart Pearce said, Tony Adams is the man. So what does that tell you?
But you know what's interesting, Kev? When I was at the 89 Premier and interviewing for AFTV, all the players, they all came in and all different times. And you know how much I love Wright and he's my hero and everything. When Adams was there, I started to shake. I was so excited. I hadn't met Adams, and since the Junior Gunners Party thing that I met you at in the 80s, I had never met him since. Even though we do not live that far from each other at that time, I'd never seen him, not at any clubs or anything.
Yeah, the GOAT legend. That's it. Is the GOAT legend.
When he walked in and started talking to me, I don't even remember what I said. There's a video on YouTube for IFTV. I'm like a kid, so excited, and he can't be much older than me. And I was like, oh my God, you're my captain, Mr. R. It's like,
well, that's a fantastic photo. That
he is. He just epitomizes everything of what a football player and a captain should be.
By the way, there was 4 legends in that photo.
Okay, I'm getting
to
that.
Get to those.
That's why.
No, you just showed it. So
no, I know.
You can't do that. Sophie.
Let me tell you, like of all the pictures we've posted so far, I kept them up there for a while because I was trying to keep up, and I wanted to. All our listeners are so wonderful. Thanks for everyone who's joining the show, legend or cult hero, here on Lockdown Series Volume 2, Episode 5 tonight with the Highbury squad. That was Mr. Tony Adams. He is Mr. Arsenal. Everybody is right. He is the legend of all legends. He epitomizes the true DNA and the culture of the club. He helped build it, but he lived it. And not only that, but he preached it and taught it. And those who were around him, like Kev. I mean, there's no better person to describe it the way than Kev did, which is why I wanted to keep his picture up and just hear you talking about him as well, Super Kev, because
Sophie, you know,
he's not, there's not players like that anymore.
Sophie, you know, at half time in games, there's times where the manager don't even need to say a word. George Graham will come in and he'll leave it to Tony.
And sometimes
that tells you everything.
But that's right. I think that's how it should be. But we haven't got anyone like that since.
I know, but if you notice, what's happened with all football, this so-called evolving of football, the way it's evolved, there's no more real men. They're players, but where's the men? The men
like
who
Roy
control.
Keane, Tony Adams.
All these guys,
Duncan
Ferguson, who control. Where are the guys? Where are the men?
Where are the hunter-gatherers?
Because
where are they?
Because it's very different now. It's a lot about the money.
So let's go back to this picture as well, you guys, because there are other legends in here or icons. We got Lee Dixon, we got Steve Bold, and we got Nigel Winterburn. You guys, Lee, Boldy, and Winterburn, legends. Again, we're talking if the 71 team are all legends, the 89 team all legends, and then we're going to get to what happened in 2004, of course.
That legendary back four, isn't it? That's
let's just call them the legendary back four.
Yeah, that's the legendary back four that the foundation was built on.
Okay, so then we'll move on to, before I get to this, I'm going to get to this, but I want to single out something here first with these two.
Oh, bless them, man. Bless him. Look at
Michael Thomas, and probably one of the most handsome ever men on the exterior and the interior in football, David Rocky Rocastle. Super Kev. Absolute legends.
Both legends. Both Arsenal. And you know what I like about these two men as well? that they came through the ranks at a time where Arsenal were going through hell. PG would tell you it was at Arsenal at the time. It was hell. There was there was 20,000, low 20,000 at Highbury.
About
slow
15,000.
hand clapping. They came through that time and had to play through some slow hand clapping. PG, wasn't it? Do you remember the slow hand claps and all that? That's how these guys cut their football teeth, and they came through that. And then George Graham took over, and then woof, it absolutely took off. Two of my brothers.
Yeah,
my two brothers. But
Thomas is also a cult hero, and he always will be for that goal.
Oh, listen, they're legends in my eyes. Cult hero for that goal, for sure. 100%.
I think Rocastle's a legend, and I think Thomas is a cult hero. And the reason being mostly is because he also went to play for Liverpool.
No.
It's just my opinion.
I agree with you, though. I think he is a cult hero, not a legend, Thomas, for that goal. But Rocky is a legend, but
absolutely
not because he went to Liverpool. That's fine.
I think Ricky Thomas is a legend.
I think he's a cult hero, and for me, he lost his legendary status when he signed for Liverpool. Right. How about this entire team, you guys?
All legends.
All legends.
Right?
Even the one in the suit at the back.
Oh, Gus.
Even the one of the suit
at
the back.
This one right here. Do you see this guy?
Yeah,
who's that, Gus?
KC, is that you?
That's me beside Lukey. Yeah,
that's you beside John Lukey.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell us about that moment, Casey. Like literally, look at you right there. You're young. You just watched the most amazing game of your life. You were actually in the stands with the fans.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously.
It was. You know what? Do you know when I look at that photo, it ports me back to being in the stand, and then 5 minutes before the end of the game, we got led around the pitch. It ports me back to that, and then seeing the move take place and Mickey scoring, and then it all going crazy. Listen. Having worked with these guys as a youngster and seeing that the work they put in to get it, even your Martin Hayeses, who was often forgotten, Perry Groves, Brian Marwood, Niall Quinn, Kevin Richardson, who's an absolute brilliant player. Again, I give all of that squad legendary status. Look at Merce on the top, looking like something out of
Alien.
Looking like something looking like the lion out of.
It's interesting, actually, Kev.
Wizard of Oz.
I think the whole team is legendary status, but there aren't many legends in there. If you get what I mean, there's more cult heroes, and I wouldn't say Martin Hayes was a legend, but he played in a legendary team.
I have my Smudger picture, but let's just
Smudger's a legend for me.
Okay. All right, so Alan Smith is a legend.
Because if we don't say that, he'll never come back on the show.
No, he won't. Super Kev, everyone wants to know where your Arsenal tie is. Like 10 questions came into chat about where is KC's Arsenal tie. Why aren't you wearing?
No, we didn't. No, because we didn't. I didn't qualify at the time. You see, for the blazer and flannels. That's how young I was. So Remember, 89, I was just 19 years old. I'd been on loan. I'd come back from loan. And obviously they were preparing because the season went on longer. So I was preparing with the team. So Tony Donnelly, listen, you couldn't even, when I made my debut in 88, he wouldn't even give me an Arsenal tracksuit.
Man, you had to earn that shit.
Everything had to be earned. I remember, when we got to Liverpool, you go for a walk and that. I had a red feeler tracksuit, and I said, Donna, this is the only tracksuit I got. So there's the team walking around in Arsenal. I've got a big red feeler tracksuit on with feeler down the arm, walking around Liverpool. But it's crazy. But everything you got, you had to earn at Arsenal. That was the way, and it was the right way. It was the right way.
I love that. Earn it, work for it, earn it, and then live it and breathe it. And that's just brilliant. And everyone in chat is really enjoying your wisdom, Casey. And this is why I wanted to do this show with regards to especially covering the 70s, 80s, and early 90s era. is because there are a lot of fans. We got a lot of young fans that listen to the show too, and especially with the 70s and 80s, they just don't have the knowledge and the history. But to hear it from a player who cleaned the boots of, of players at Arsenal back then and was sitting next to them, learned from them, and then went into banging a ton of goals is really quite incredible. So this is really cool. Everyone going a trip down memory lane, and for some fans learning a little bit about the Gunners. And you guys realize just how lucky we are to support this club, love this club. You know, we may have fallen on hard times, still won 4 FA Cups in 6 years, but we all want to be better in the league, and we'll get there. But I mean, I don't think a Tottenham podcast could do this kind of show.
61 and that'd be it.
Oh, well.
They'd have to talk about 61.
Shots fired.
Well, do you know what? They would have cult heroes, because they've had cult heroes.
Greavesy and
you know, they've had cult heroes and stuff like that. But the legends, few and far between, really. You're right, Sophie. We are spoiled. We are.
It really
but
is.
Ain't it great that
I love
we nearly done an hour and we haven't even got near any of them.
Well, don't worry, because there's plenty to come, and I can squeeze through all of these. Let's just do this real quick, because there's a few players that I wanted to squeeze in, because for some people they're heroes, for some people they're cult heroes, and they just loved them at the time. How about this guy?
Ledge.
No.
Anders Limpar.
What? Anders Limpar was an absolute legend.
He's a cult hero for me. I
No,
loved him.
not for me. He's a legend. Part of that listen, Anders 1991 side, legend. The Battle of Old Trafford, Anders Limpar scored the winner. He was a difference maker. He's a legend. That 1991 champion title winning side, legend.
Ooh. Ah.
I love him, but he's not a legend for me. He's not someone to be on my legend list.
Yeah, I think he's a cult hero too, Casey. There's something about him, because who did we okay, this was controversial at the time, wasn't it? Because we sold someone really good to bring him in. Am I misreading this? I remember we bought Limpar in, and you know, a lot of people questioned the signing at the time, but he was great. He was fun. He played well. He brought excitement. He was inconsistent at times, but definitely one of our best foreign signings, I think, in our history. One of my all-time favorite foreign signings. I'm going to move the needle just a little bit. Actually, not move it too back. I'm going to rewind. How about this guy, Mr. Charlie Nicholas? What a shirt that was! Yes.
It's hard for me because he was my legend. He was my hero at the time, and especially the 87 final. But I agree with Kev. He's not a legend, but he's definitely a cult hero. 100% on that one.
100% cult hero,
yeah. I think he's a cult hero too.
And a real good one at that, by the way. He was a good cult hero, yeah.
Oh,
Champagne
Charlie, yep, definitely. Hey, absolutely. I used to clean his boots as well, by the way.
You did?
Yes, I did. I cleaned his boots. And let me tell you something. He had the smallest feet. I think I was born with the size of his feet. Well, I was born with feet that size.
You just went Patrice Evra on Charlie Nicholas, AC.
Right. And so I used to clean his boots and do all that. And Viv Anderson, I used to clean Viv Anderson's, his, Kenny Sansom, and I used to do George Graham and Theo Foley. So I used to do 5 pairs of boots, right? So Christmas is coming, and I'm thinking, Christmas is nice. I'm going to be well looked after. Kenny Sansom was good to me. Viv Anderson was tight as anything. He said, "You owe me money." I said, "I owe you what? I've done your boots all season." Right? He gave me 20 quid, which was at the time was quite nice, but you know, it was a bit got to charge. George Graham reluctantly gave me money.
Scottish, isn't it? Scottish.
He's Scottish. He reluctantly. Believe me, he gave me a lecture before he gave me the money as well.
Oh, I can imagine.
All at once. All that.
My God.
Theo Foley was fantastic. I think George gave me 50 quid. Theo gave me 50 quid. So what was left was Charlie Nicholas. So I'm waiting for Charlie. He's in the bath. He's doing his hair. He's doing all this. And I'm waiting for him. I'm like, oh, for God's sake. So I do everything else. Charlie walks down. So I said, so we've done all our singing and stuff. You're going to love this. So I said, Charlie, were you happy with your boots all season? He says, because he used to call me Big Tim. He used to call me Big Tim after Tim Witherspoon, right? So I said, were you happy with your boots? He said, yeah, I was really happy with my boots. He says, oh, I've got something for you, and handed me an envelope. And in the envelope was 250 quid. I love Charlie Nicholas. I love him. I love Champagne Charlie. I was on the champagne that night.
I bet you were.
Champagne Charlie, brilliant guy. Absolute. And you know what? He was one of the funniest guys at the club as well.
I love it.
Absolute brilliant.
But you know what's interesting? Everyone in the 80s had his haircut. My brother did. He had the mullet.
God, yeah.
And
Lee Judges had it as well. You know,
well.
Lee Judges had it.
Did it?
He did, yeah.
The judge had the mullet.
The judge had it. Yeah, he had it, yeah.
You know what though? There were certain players like then that crossed over into popular culture, and the press loved a little Charlie Nicholas gossip
because he was Champagne Charlie, wasn't
always
he?
Hanging out with hot birds, as they said back then. Okay, so a picture I don't have, but a player I do want to mention, and a couple of people have brought up, is David O'Leary. Legend for me.
Legend for me.
Yeah, legend.
Easy.
Legend.
Easy.
Yeah, look, he covers so much.
Absolutely.
Of the football club over the years and decades. And you know what? He was a top guy. He looked after me quite a lot when I was coming through. And I swear to you, he used to pick me up at times. And I just used to pick his brain. I used to ask him about strikers and stuff like that. David O'Leary, you know, a lot of the time he didn't play a lot at the start. But if you notice, when it came down to really important games, George Graham would put him in. And a lot of people must remember George Graham played him at Anfield.
Yeah.
Started him at Anfield just to make sure everything was nice and calm. And when the Liverpool players surrounded the referee, did you see David O'Leary? He weren't having none of it. I tell you, he's having none of it.
But you know what? I also met him that night again when I met Tony, and I was shocked at how fantastically lovely he was, because I'd heard he wasn't that warm. He was one of the nicest ones I interviewed. He was just fabulous. What a lovely man. An absolute legend.
Legend.
Yeah. And I agree with some of our chat folks that think David O'Leary would be a great board member right now. I do too. I actually enjoy his daughter's posts on Twitter. She has a good account.
Yeah,
and
she's good.
And she posts some good stuff about her dad as well. So check that out. I don't have it to hand, but I'm sure you can find it. All right, we're going to keep going here. We got a few more minutes. Before I jump to a new era-ish.
Legend.
Both, but I think he's both.
Yeah,
I think Wright is both.
Actually, he's probably just as much as a cult hero as he is as a legend.
Legend, yeah, because, you know, I don't think I've ever seen anybody join a club and become a cult hero straight away, like Wright did. Because, you know, that hat trick he got at Southampton was incredible, wasn't it? He scored at Leicester, and then that hat trick he got at Southampton was unbelievable. And you know what a lovely, lovely fella as well. Absolute brilliant guy. He's another brother. He's another brother of mine. You keep putting these brothers. All my brothers are coming on here.
They're trying to get you all emotional, Casey.
Yeah, you're trying.
Oh, bless him.
Don't get me going. I love him. I love him.
What a time, and what a great way that you talk about them and think about them. And you know, we know too, they think about you the same way. And it's just a brotherhood and a camaraderie that is never, ever going to go away. You'll always be intertwined because of your experiences. And it's really a wonderful thing that not many people experience. So to hear it from you firsthand, what it's like to be in the trenches with top tier athletes who are winning things and give fans so much joy and memories and great happiness over the years. I mean, I don't think fans can even begin to thank you guys. And that's why I think sometimes when we talk on this show about how fans get divided and a bit hateful lately because of things that have happened, at the end of the day, you know, we support the club, and the club has given us a lot of joy, Amanda, that we look back on in our lives, and we can attribute world events and life experiences to Arsenal moments. And that's just true. So to kind of hear your little anecdotes today, Casey. That's the bomb. It's just the best. Can't beat that.
I've got to say something else, because I'm sure, PG, when you were coming out the east lower, you were coming out the east stand, so you come out, don't you? Could you remember? I think it was the Cup Winners' Cup after we beat PSG, and Wright was throwing all the kits and all that stuff out the window.
I've still got a picture. Yeah,
you still got a picture. Wright was going absolutely mental because he'd got over the fact that he'd been booked. He played really well second half, and obviously we got over the line. We got through to the final, and he was so overwhelmed. He was so excited that he just was throwing people's clothes out the window. He was throwing boots
in
out.
Vanille Road. Yeah,
and all the fans were there, and this is that connection to the fans for that team.
Oh, absolutely.
Was so special.
That was massive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was really, really special. And do you know what? Because a lot of the time we bumped into the fans. We mingled with the fans as well. So it was a brilliant time to be an Arsenal player and fan.
And that's what upsets me now, Kev, is when he gets so much abuse from the younger Arsenal fans. They haven't got a clue how much Ian Wright bleeds Arsenal.
Yeah.
Whether we can all be critical of our club and stuff, and he has every right to as well. But when they go for him, I can't stand it, because he is not as much as Tony Adams, but he's on that league.
He's in the same. He's on the same table. That's for sure.
Yes, he's on the same table.
Definitely, he's on the same table. Incredible guy, absolutely top goal scorer, and what an absolute diamond of a bloke as well. My brother, man, Righty, my brother.
KC, he's done so many good things in the game, and he's done great things for the women's game, championed the Arsenal women's team as well as the younger players, being a mentor to them and everything as well. No matter who he sees, he takes a picture with, he hangs out with, and lots of obviously insane comments for Ian Wright. And let's not forget, everyone, for me, my favorite Ian Wright moment actually is that goal against Spurs, where he did, as well as he scored amazing goals and he got poacher goals as well, Super Kev, he did things outside the box sometimes that he gets appreciation for, but it's not as recognized. There was the game against Spurs where he went down and then he was in the corner by the corner flag, and he skinned someone and he lobbed it all the way over to Dennis. And Dennis
took a touch and brilliant, absolutely brilliant goal.
Brilliant. But let's not forget,
I think he done a couple of step overs, didn't he?
Yes.
Wide. And he stepped over it. He took it on his left foot and whipped it in. And Dennis, well, the rest is history. He was just unbelievable, wasn't he? That touch and finish. Well, amazing. And he wheeled away. Yeah, brilliant. Hey, by the way, that picture. So you got an icon, legend, cult hero, and you got a legend with pink hair. There you go.
We're never, ever, KC, going to get bored of that picture, like ever. It's going to be a picture that's just going to lead in infamy. And I love it when our listeners kind of ask me right off the bat to kind of do something and show it on screen if I can. And you know me, I always try to please the listeners as much as I can. So for my boy right here, I am going to do this right here, right now for you, because Ian Wright and Kevin Campbell have quite the history together and we all adore them. And this is one of our all-time favorite pictures. We showed it on the show the other day and it never gets old as well. So here it comes. 3, 2, 1. If my internet can speed up right here. Boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
My God.
All right.
Men in Black. Bloody
all right. Hey, have you noticed? Look at the headphones. Look at the headphones.
Oh yeah,
man.
but Wrighty's coat looks like it could fit two of him.
It probably could. It probably could.
So gangster.
The Gooner Gangsters. That's right.
Gooner Gangsters.
The South London crew.
South London.
South London hilarious. Brilliant. Hey,
my God.
And that is still an iconic picture.
Yeah.
That is still because you know what? Every time this gets put on, somebody always messages me and says, "What was it? What were you talking? Have you still got that coat, Kev? Have you this, that, the other?" So
Look, Casey, you're wearing the red tie. You got promoted there.
I got promoted. Tony Dudley promoted me. Yeah, I got promoted.
Yeah, that's when you were making Wrighty look good. That's what I'm saying. Look at that. That's really good fun. That just for you there, Archangel. We got that one squeezed in. All right, so here we go with 59 minutes, and I could keep going. Could bust through these. Here's someone here, you guys. If you guys want to stay, I'm going to stay. If you guys want to roll, we can do the next era on another show, part 2.
I've got another 15 minutes. I can do 15.
So how about we just move on to this guy?
Oh, I love Emmanuel. But he's not a legend.
What is he for you, PG?
He's not any of that. He's just a great player. And he got injured too much. And he never played with Vieira enough. They would have been phenomenal. One of them was out, suspensions or injury, but he's not any of those, but I just loved him.
Casey?
I think PG's right on this one. I think Manu Petit was an exceptional player. Him and Vieira really were superb in the centre of the pitch. But I don't think he played enough years to become a cult hero or a legend. But he was a real good player, really great player. He was.
Yeah. I think because of the way we transformed the team at the time and him and Vieira came in and no one knew who they were, there was something culty about their year together that, they played. And, he left prematurely. He should never have. I mean, that's one of the biggest regrets of his entire career, isn't it? When he left Arsenal. But yeah, Emmanuel Petit definitely changed the thinking of how Arsenal fans perceived a midfield and football because of Arsene Wenger, of course, and what he infused into the team. So for me, he definitely has a little bit of that cult status as well. Yes, I agree with Carl. Best player song ever. Maybe you should come on and sing it for us, Carl. It really was a great song. Maybe we won't sing that today. All right, guys, we're going to move on to another time and era because Emmanuel Petit comes up, but I have no idea where it is. Where did I put it? I think it's up here. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to put them all in one shot.
Legends.
Oh, the whole lot.
Legends. Yeah.
Really need to go one by one, do we?
Well, no, that gold trophy says it all.
Yeah.
Absolute legends. Every single one of them.
Invincible
I don't care.
legends.
Every single one.
Yep.
No matter how many games you played, if you were part of that squad, you have to be in the starting 11 playing regularly, I think, for me. But, the core group, absolute legends. Let's talk about Ray Parlour.
And you've got a couple of cult heroes in there as well.
Yeah, Parlour's a cult hero.
So Parlour's a cult hero, is he not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Amanda?
Yeah.
Parlour's a cult hero, yeah.
Who else do you think is a cult hero from that team? Do you think Robert Pires is a legend or a cult hero? Because he's one of our top scorers of all time. Robert Pires is a legend, right?
Legend for me.
He's not a cult hero, but he's definitely a legend. I wouldn't say he was cult.
Cult hero is Bergkamp.
Oh,
and
no.
legend.
Oh.
He's both. He's both.
That's what I'm saying. He's a legend and a cult hero. What are you talking about? No, don't even start with me, Sophie.
No, it was both of us. I just thought you were calling Dennis a cult hero. That's why.
No. I said they're all legends. All
both.
Legends.
He's calling Dennis cult and
legend. And obviously Thierry is a legend and he's at the same table.
I was just about to say that. Thierry and Bergkamp are at the same table as Tony Adams and Ian Wright. We must make a table up. I want to be on that table.
Yeah, I'd love to. A couple of people have mentioned Mark Overmars to me, you guys. Mark Overmars to me is a cult hero, not a legend.
Yeah, not a legend.
Just for the Man United goal alone, he goes
cult
into
hero.
that. And of course, obviously, Jose Antonio Reyes, God rest his soul. Part of the team. A lot of people talking about Parlour. Dennis Bergkamp's a legend, and obviously Thierry Henry. There's some players that we're not mentioning, you guys, because they are just it, right? Vieira, Petit. Vieira, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp.
I'd say Vieira's at the table as well. By the way,
Vieira's a legend.
Oh yeah, he's at the table. He's
the
at the
thing
cheeseman's
is,
table.
do you remember
I think he's a cult hero as well, because
also-
them battles with Roy Keane were unbelievable.
Oh,
Cult
yeah.
hero, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But I also think that Parler was one of the most underrated players we ever had. Yeah, honestly, I loved Parler so much.
Especially
Yeah.
Brilliant.
what he did in that team. Some people here thinking Overmars is a legend. I don't think Overmars.
He's
I
a
don't know.
brilliant player. He was brilliant, and I loved watching him. But no, he's not legend status for me.
Also, Kanu for me is a cult hero. Just
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hat trick at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Forget about it, right?
Yeah.
Adu is just a nice player. He gets a legendary status just because he was in the team. How about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Offered Pele. All right.
What, the trophy?
No. Give
Yeah, he's
credit
an
where credit's due. Incredible.
Legend. Yeah, of course.
Absolute legend for sure. Absolute
And
legend.
an absolute lovely man. And I've met him and interviewed him, and honestly loved him. He was a lovely man.
Yeah, lovely
Very
man.
charismatic. He loved Arsenal. Forget the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years of what went wrong and everything. He was an amazing manager.
Now, even if you chuck those years in, he's still an absolute legend.
Yeah.
And listen, you guys, I know that it didn't end well, but he not only changed Arsenal, he changed English football. Just listen to Sir Alex Ferguson's quotes about Arsene Wenger and what he did not only at Arsenal, but what he then pushed other clubs to do to better
He raised the bar,
themselves
didn't he?
with nutrition and how players were conditioned and trained and everything. I mean, he really changed everything. And English football became super exciting. And everyone will agree that Man United-Arsenal rivalry at that time, there's been nothing like it. We've seen great Chelsea teams. We've seen really good Manchester City teams. We've seen it all. But that rivalry at that time, there was nothing like it. And no matter what you think about this guy, he completely changed, Arsenal Football Club. And
listen, this is what I would say. The fact that he called it going unbeaten. He called it.
Yeah, the year before, didn't he?
Yeah,
That's
didn't he?
unbelievable.
He absolutely called it. But remember, early Arsene Wenger, and Mark, you damn right, he had David Dean behind him.
Oh, legend. Yeah, definitely.
He is the legend.
He was Mr. Arsenal.
Yeah, Mr. Arsenal. He was in the background.
And Newman, I agree. We all agree George Graham changed Arsenal's mentality and changed Arsenal's trajectory when it came to going
Turn the
from
club back into winners. Turn us into winners.
Absolutely. But when Wenger inherited the team, remember there was a terrible season after that with Bruce Rioch. He didn't exactly inherit. He inherited great players, but he also inherited a few problems as well.
Oh, yeah.
So. And, some
Rudderless.
people will say, when you look back now, was he treated disgustingly by some fans? Yes. Did some fans want him out? Yes, I was a fan that thought it was time for change, for sure.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean you don't respect what he did.
It's all right to want him out. It's not a problem.
Right. All right, I'm going to whiz through these next ones, all right? You ready? I think we could do them all tonight.
Why?
Oh, all right then. Okay, I'll save the next generation then for another show. But I'm just saying I could do it.
Yeah, we got another show. We could get another show.
Let's cult legend.
Cult hero.
Cult hero. Sorry,
what are you talking about? She's making up her own stuff now.
You know what? I'm so tired. Sorry. Cult hero. Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh god.
Let's cut it, Soph. Inspired. We need PG tips on our tips.
PG tips on a what?
On our tips.
I mean, this guy was. We wanted more of Poldy. I mean,
really top player. Loved him. Great left foot. Dangerous. Very dangerous.
And I just love how he still trolls Tottenham. I love it. He just knows what he's doing, doesn't he, you guys? He really does.
You probably haven't got him, and I know we're going to win now and do another show, but Chesney, he's a cult hero. He trolls everyone. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't have him. I have a few others. I have, let's see, how many I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 players left.
Yeah, let's wait for the next show so we can give it justice. I'm sure there's more.
Of course there are, but
I'm sure there's a Mr. Urzil in there. Can't wait for that one.
Let's leave that till next time.
Yeah, that could be the little, teaser for the next one.
Yeah, the teaser for the next one.
All right, we're going to stop at the Podolski era,
Yeah.
if you could call it that, ladies and gentlemen. We've done the 70s, we've done the 80s, and we've done the 90s. We're shifting slowly and swiftly into the 2000s, ending on a high with these fellas. Let's just say, I don't care what anyone says. You can throw darts at the Arsenal Football Club and how we've been through some troubled times. But you know what? City, Chelsea, they were nothing before they had money. Manchester United, great club, have always been winners, also went through difficult times. And Arsenal Football Club have been through some rough times. But what we've done, no one else has done. You can never take away the Invincibles from the Arsenal. And so that is the perfect way to end the show tonight. And for all the millennials in the house, they loved that one, you guys. They were like, this is my childhood. And I'm like, oh, yeah. That's nice.
They're all getting excited now. Now we're leaving.
Oh, that's about right.
Leave them wanting more.
That's right.
Leave them wanting more. Okay, so you guys can imagine what's coming next. There's going to be some interesting selections for you. We're going to enjoy it and dissect it. We'll do that probably next week. The show returns tomorrow night live with Kevin Says. Remember, that is your show. You create the content for that. We don't do anything. I don't have any preparation to do because you know why? It's all about you. We play Kev's videos. He asks you a few questions and then you ask him everything you want and interact live via our chat. There is no Chris Ray. All right. Good night, PG from EFT Media, your little favorite over there. Daniel, God bless. Listen, everyone have a cup of tea. Enjoy yourselves. Take care. We're going to be back tomorrow night. And then Thursday, we're going to be live after the Crystal Palace game with Jim Piddock, who is one of our favorites. He's a writer, producer, has been in some classic Hollywood films. He's a Crystal Palace fan, knows the owners, has some great insights. He's wonderful. And he was just made a lord in England.
Wow.
So we have to refer to him as Lord Piddock when he comes on the show.
Yeah.
Go Google it, you guys. You'll have some
You can
fun
have a
with
lord
that.
and a princess.
Yes.
Hey.
And Jim, he's good friends with, obviously he knows Wrighty from the Palace days and Bright. They all used to hang out and have some pints together and stuff like that. All right. Do you guys have anything else to report for the kids?
No, look forward to tomorrow.
Okay, wonderful. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go get some winks, 40 winks. And Amanda, let everyone know what's the scoop.
Thank you for joining us and always Arsenal.
Bada bing, bada boom.